Are you a business owner or employee who needs to network but is terrified of walking into a room full of people you don't know? Are you afraid of being left out of conversations or being awkward in the conversations you do have? Your tour guide, Faithann, is here to walk alongside you through the networking terrain, offering tips and tricks to network with ease. She'll also bring insightful interviews with successful business owners who have used networking to expand their businesses. Building relationships is the heart of networking, and generosity is the cruise ship that will navigate you toward those important relationships for your business or career. Grab your sunscreen and suitcase. Faithann is ready. Are you?
Hello there, and welcome to the Networkers Tour Guide podcast. I'm your host, Faithann. I'm glad you found the show. Networking is providing opportunities for others that they would not have except for you, so that you have standing to ask for opportunities from those same people when you need them. How do we create opportunities for others, and how do we ask for those same opportunities? Well, that's what this podcast is all about. It's what I'm here for. Let's dive into episode 24. This week's episode is a solo episode, and it's called Grabbing Benefits from Member Networking Groups Before You're a Member. Now, I will recommend always to join a weekly member-exclusive networking group as soon as you are able to do that. I will always recommend that. So these tips are not in lieu of joining an industry-exclusive group, but there may be a lapse of time. There was with me when I first attended my Business Networking International meeting. We call it BNI for short. When I first visited the meeting until the time that I was able to come back and apply to be a member of the meeting of that chapter was about a year. So if I were doing this again today and I had to wait a year, this is what I would tell myself to do in that interim year between the time that I visited and the time that I joined. And most of the time, the reasons people cannot join these member exclusive, mostly weekly groups, most of the time when you have a industry exclusive group, they do meet weekly. It's for a couple of reasons. Most of the time it's cost. So they just aren't quite prepared to come up with the yearly fee all at once. Maybe they're very new in business, or they're making a transition, or they're in the middle of purchasing a new building. Could be a lot of reasons why they see the value of joining, but they just aren't quite ready just yet at the time that they visit. The second reason a lot of times people can't join is scheduling. So they see the value of it, but they just aren't ready to meet when the chapter meets. Maybe they're like a crew leader and they know they're going to eventually delegate their current position to somebody else, and then they will be free during that time. But at the time, they're just not available, or they're taking kids to school. So I've been in BNI for a while, and those are the two common things that I hear when we invite visitors to apply for membership. It's usually one of those two things if they don't do it right away. Having said that, I would recommend joining a weekly member, I keep saying member, joining a weekly industry exclusive group as soon as you can. These are 7 things you can do while you're waiting for your situation to change to still grab some benefits from those industry exclusive groups. The first thing you can do is show up early to the group. And the reason why you show up early is because more than likely the most committed members of the group are going to be there on time. Well, those are the people you want to talk to more than any of the other people. They're probably all wonderful, but the people who are there early are the most committed, which means they are open and they are zoned in on new people. They are more likely to be welcoming and friendly and be interested in you as a visitor if they are there early setting up. And even if they're setting up the room, it's okay. You can still come in. A good team, a good networking group will still be able to do any kind of last minute setup preparations and make a visitor feel welcome. So show up early. The room is a little quieter. You have access to the most committed people in the chapter because they're there early. Have some good conversations. So that's tip number 1, arrive early. Tip number 2, have an answer for who are you? How are you? What's your business? So we don't want, when someone asks us, well, who are you with? You don't want to say, you don't want to mumble an answer. And what you want is a curiosity driving answer. You want something different. You want to position your company in a way that drives curiosity. And the expert at this is Nikki Rausch, who was a guest on episode 22. So go back and listen to episode 22 if you aren't sure how to have a curiosity answer to a question you know you're going to be asked there. Who are you? How are you? What's your business? Get some curiosity driving answers to those questions. You will stand out and you may get somebody interested more than they normally would be if your answers are dull and boring and typical. The third thing that I would suggest you do is have a well prepared 60-second presentation or whatever the group is calling their version of this that tells the room who you are looking for. There are many episodes of this podcast that you can go back and listen to examples of 60-second presentations. You can listen to guests who have come on, and that's all we talk about are 60-second presentations. So it's a good idea to prepare yourself for this element. And any networking organization is industry exclusive that meets weekly is going to have this component in their meetings. So you might as well prepare for it. Say your name at the beginning and the end of your presentation so that if people don't catch it at the beginning, they catch it at the end, and tell the room who you're looking for. And please do not use the word anyone or anybody, because you're not looking for anyone. You're not looking for anybody. You're looking for a specific person. So if you could have your ideal client right in front of you, ready to sign a contract, who would that be? Describe that person to the room when you ask for a referral. That's what they're all there for, is to find referrals for each other, and they need to know who you're looking for. All right, number 4, be open about the cost. Keep in mind that cost brings value. So a group that costs money to be a part of means that every member has assigned a value to that networking group. So have an open mind. Some of them are costly, but there's a reason why they're costly, because they know that the value that they bring, and most of those groups like BNI, Centersphere, Gold Star, at least in this area in Oklahoma City, many of these groups are nationwide. They will have some component in their meeting that tells people how much money that the group has generated in referrals. So you take that and you say, well, if this group is generating X number of dollars per month just between members, and it costs this much money to join, consider that it's probably a good investment for you. So I just want you to be open. So don't scoff at the cost of it right away. Be open. I'm not saying you have to join, just be open to the idea that these things do cost money.
Hi, listeners. Are you someone who struggles to make a great first impression when you meet others? Faithann has put together her guide to help you make a great first impression no matter where you are. This quick guide gives you simple tips to leave a powerful first impression, the first step to relationship building. Go grab this free resource today by clicking on the impressions link in the show notes.
Okay, number 5. Often when you go to these kinds of networking groups, they will provide a list of members, or you can find a list of members online, and often they'll have their contact information. Please take that piece of paper if it's in a piece of paper form. Sometimes they'll have a business card binder or a business card stand where all the business cards of the members are there. Grab the business cards and then take them home. See if members are on LinkedIn. Send them a LinkedIn request. You might send them an email saying, I was at your chapter meeting this morning, and one thing I really enjoyed about your meeting was, and if you talked to that member, say, I had a great conversation with you, or I enjoyed our conversation. I'm eager to learn more about you and your business. See if you can schedule a one-to-one with the members. Keep in mind, you can think about the fair analogy that I talked about in episode 21, Who's in Your Fair. Go back and listen to that. Strategic people that your clients are going to be more than likely working with before you and after you. Are any of those people in this room, in this meeting that you are attending? Reach out to those people for sure for a one-to-one. Number 6, in LinkedIn, you can add skills to a speaker. If there was a speaker during the meeting, later that day, you can friend them or send a LinkedIn request and then go to their profile and add skills because you've seen them in action. And if you think that they had a good presentation, add some skills on their LinkedIn profile. A simple, easy way to tell that speaker that you were listening and to build rapport. Now, these last two are really, really good for staying top of mind with these members until you're ready to join the group. You can offer to be a substitute. Sometimes these larger organizations have an attendance requirement and they will say, and you can have a substitute. You can send someone else in your place if you can't make a meeting. BNI does this. I'm not sure what the policy is for other groups like Gold Star or Centersphere. I'm really not sure, but at least for BNI, this is a very real thing, having a substitute so that if you can't make your meeting and you don't want to be counted as absent, you can send a substitute. Well, BNI members are always looking for substitutes, always. So if you can build some rapport with a few of the members and have a one-to-one with them and say, I'm happy to sub for you, then you're in the room. And some chapters will also let you have a 60-second presentation as representing your own business, as well as giving the member that you're subbing for, giving his or her presentation. This does vary. So I don't want you to go in assuming that you will be able to, but sometimes they will, which is fabulous because now you've gotten a chance to give another 60-second presentation about yourself if the group allows it. If the group does not allow it, you can still say, Hi, I'm Mary with XYZ Florist, subbing for Bob with XYZ Plumbing. You can still say your name and the name of your business, even if you're saying someone else's presentation. Say your name and the name of your business at the very beginning, so at least they hear it. It's a little hack. Whenever I sub for other members, this is what I do. I say my name first, then I say who I'm subbing for, and I do give it a good effort. I mean, I do my very best to read whatever that member has sent me with as much charisma as I can give. You know, I don't just read it. I don't treat it as a throwaway. I treat it as my best version, filling in for someone else. I read it to the best of my ability so that the member is represented that week. But I still say my name at the beginning. And the last thing you can do to grab some benefits from these industry exclusive groups before you join is you can visit other chapters. So often these larger networking organizations will have more than one chapter in an area, and you can visit several. And then we noticed with visitors too that for BNI, they would go and visit other chapters in order to make a decision as to which one they could join. You know, some people had a lot of flexibility and they have the ability to choose between different days of the week, different times of day. Some people can't do that, but you can do that. You can go to different chapters and visit. Now, you want to understand too that these chapters do not let you just come all the time. That's the whole point of being a member. Usually you can come twice. That's how it is in BNI. I don't know how it is in other places, but it's probably similar before they want you to make a commitment. But try out those other chapters. And if you're subbing on a regular basis, then you really are getting a lot of benefit. And then the best benefits come when you finally commit. You apply for membership and you're accepted. And now you really do have a group of people that are looking to build your business with you. They're looking to build your business with you as you grow. And it can be a wonderful way to expand your own business and to drive that revenue to your business through referrals. So go network, my friend, and remember, you can grab benefits from industry exclusive groups before you are ready to join them.
You've been listening to the Networkers Tour Guide podcast with Faithann Basor. Share this episode with a friend and be sure to come back next week for more networking tips and tricks from the Networkers Tour Guide.